I want to start with a little story about, well, barbecue in Austin. I was recently asked if I were on death row and I had to order my last meal, what would it be? Well, that's a pretty big decision, and it's probably the only decision you get to make when you're on death row. So I thought about it real hard, and I came up with what I thought would be the perfect meal if I were on death row here in Austin, Texas. I would start with barbecue, of course, and I would want to get some barbecue pork ribs from the Salt Lick. They have the best pork ribs in the business. I'd want to get some beef ribs from the Ironworks downtown. They have the best beef ribs in town. And then I'd want to get some sausage, and I'd go for my sausage to the county line. And then finally I would wrap it up with Rudy's Extra Moist Brisket, because they've got the best brisket. I don't even normally like brisket, but their brisket is unbelievable, the Extra Moist. And I'd get the Rudy's Cream Corn to top it off. And I would have the ultimate last meal. In fact, I think I'm going to have that sometime, even when I'm not on death row. But in the meantime, it got me thinking about real estate, and I think to myself, you know, when I invest in real estate, you know, I want to use the best strategies for whatever the situation is that I'm dealing with. I don't care if I'm, you know, doing short sales one day and doing some kind of a sub-2 wrap situation the next day. I just want to look at each opportunity that comes my way and figure out how to maximize the most profit possible out of that opportunity. So case in point, last year I bought and sold a house, and I made, let me just get this number correct, I made $291,918.29 flipping one house. Now the best part of this story, besides the money, because the money was pretty good, the best part of this story is that I was actually the 8th investor that homeowner called when he was selling that house. 7 other guys got a call from that homeowner. 7 other guys walked into the house. They looked right and left and up and down. 7 other guys passed on the deal. Now, why would 7 guys pass on the opportunity to make $300,000 on one deal? Well, basically the reason was because it was a very complex deal. It involved many different strategies that are using many different systems and principles. So it didn't fit the model that any of these folks were taught. So they all looked at it and they said, well, there's no deal here, and they walked away. So when I teach real estate, I teach all of the 12 top strategies for buying real estate. I teach short sales, I teach sub-2s, I teach wraps, I teach auctioning, I teach house swapping. I teach all of these different strategies because you can mix and match these different techniques, and if you know them all, it's like a bunch of tools in your toolbox. You could have a toolbox and you could have a hammer in it, and you could be really good at pounding things with a hammer, but you know what? If you don't have a nail, maybe that's not the right tool. So having a lot of different tools in your toolbox gives you the opportunity to solve a lot of different kinds of problems and make a lot more money in real estate. And in fact, it might even give you the ability to make $300,000 every once in a while. And those aren't deals that come across very often, but when they do, you really want to be ready and you really want to know how to take advantage of those things.